Good afternoon. My name is Daniel O'Neill, and this is my informative speech for Public Speaking 2608. So my title was The Benefit of Team Sports. So in a study conducted by InnerWorks, which is a health and regulation journal, they found that 1/3 of middle-aged adults fall under recommended guidelines of 150 minutes of physical activity a week. We've all seen things about America being obese, but you don't really see the missing parts of it, not just obesity and physical fitness, but the mental aptitude side of it. When I was young, I never really wanted to do team sports. I was obese, and it was really my parents that pushed me out to do it. I didn't realize it at the time, but participating in team sports and meeting those friends and having that connection really developed me as a kid into the person I am today. In any professional environment, you need to know how to work well with people, how to respect others that are different than you, and all around just how to work well as a team. That's one thing team sports does pretty well. When I was that constant social engagement, it teaches you all these skills and how to deal with people that you might not necessarily be friends with outside of that sport. It teaches you things like communication skills, how to take and listen to instructions, being in a leadership role on a team that builds self-esteem, that'll boost one's confidence. Another big point of mine was mental health. Team sports really does help with mental health, and it helps with confidence in your own body and just self-esteem in general. It'll make somebody who really doesn't have a voice, and it'll give them a voice. There was an article done by the Journal of Sports Medicine, published by Andrew Brinkley, that covered multiple different surveys, and they found strong evidence that physical inactivity was linked to poor health conditions such as obesity, heart disease, all these other conditions, but also poor mental health. Nobody really thinks about it, but that mental health aspect is pretty important with how suicide rates are. There was another article by Men's Health Science that surveyed two groups of 10-year-olds. One that had an athletic background where students were being pushed and motivated by their parents to do sports, and one not so much. The results found that sports participation was beneficial in multiple aspects of development, but the big ones were personal victimization, self-esteem, and higher mental health. Another big point of mine, you might think that physical fitness and mental health are kind of obvious when it comes to team sports, but one people don't think about that much is accountability. When you learn that time management and how to handle yourself in those certain situations, you take the aspects of those things and you transfer them to situations in your real life. I can't tell you the amount of times where I've called back to the amount of nerves I had before a football game or something, and I brought that into what I was doing in real life. If I was nervous for a job interview or something, and I would just completely be able to do it fine with that amount of courage. Feeling content in one's body is important. People take for granted what it's like to be physically fit, and there are people who are handicapped who don't have that privilege. So when I found my passion in team sports and physical fitness, I realized that we take for granted the ability to connect with these groups of people, to network with these people, to meet friends and have connections and coaches or whatever, because there are kids who can't do that. There was another journal by Andrew Brinkley that talked about how physical interventions in workplace not only helped employee health, but it also helped with other aspects of their jobs, like productivity, sales, the amount of sick days they called off, or days that they were late for work. They were all around more accountable. So in closing, if you're thinking about going out for sports, or someone you love is thinking about going out for sports, you might as well just go out and do it. You're going to surprise yourself. You're going to learn some life lessons. You might even meet a lifelong friend. So I covered the benefits and statistics and outcomes that participation in team sports may have, but in reality there are numerous other benefits and perks that I wasn't able to list in such a short video. One thing you need to know is that the power of a support group in a tough time is something that is really underrated, and something that saved my life personally. So if you take that attitude of sportsmanship and hunger back into the workplace with you, you're going to shake some things up. All right, have a good day.